Hello, everyone. It's Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist. We are doing a series for each life path number, and it's just going to be a quick one, a quick series about the best advice for each life path number. And it's kind of like any kind of advice. I'm going to give you three pieces of advice, and it's like if I'm kind of like your weird uncle who gives you advice and you think it's ridiculous, then don't take it. Okay. But I'm going to give three pieces of advice to people who have eights in their chart, especially the eight life path, that I have seen consistently in my practice that might be of use. Also, know that just like if you're someone who watches astrology videos as well, and you know that you'll watch for your sun, your moon, your rising, you can do the same thing with these numerology videos. You can take a look at each of the numbers that might show up in a prominent placement in your chart, in your numerology chart. Within your core numbers, that would be your life path, your destiny or expression number, your soul urge, sometimes called the heart's desire. So many other names for all these numerology placements, but you get the picture. And what's the other one? Birthday and other numbers. But if this number shows up prominently in your chart, you could get some benefit out of these pieces of advice as well. All right, we're going to get going. We're going to get rolling. We're going to get right into it. All right, first piece of advice for the eight: learn about money and finances. Usually, there are two kinds of eights: the ones who are obsessed with it, and the ones who think it is the most horrible, torturous thing to have to think about, to deal with. There are so many issues around money. Okay. I will always say that the eight life path, or people who have eights, are here to explore and learn about that. And so often I find there's an intensified feeling kind of this love-hate relationship with money. So if you're an eight and you're like, I don't like money, I want money, but I don't want, okay, sorry to break it to you, but you are going to benefit from learning about money and how it works. How does the financial system work? How do you play with money? How do you make more of it? How do you make money off of your money? And if you're a parent, I would say also this, to really give yourself permission, if you have an eight child, to begin to teach them about this, because often this can be a kind of a little bit of a taboo subject around family dynamics, right? We don't talk about money. And yet, if you have an eight, you're doing them a really good service, and being very supportive in their souls, with their soul's contract, if you teach them about money, and not just the value of money and hard work and all of that, but how money is an energy, how it's used truly as a currency, and how to enjoy um, moving with it, right? The eights that who I know who are the happiest and most successful are the ones who truly see money as a game, and not in a crappy kind of way, but in a way where they understand that money is this playful currency that comes and goes. The more you give, the more it expands, that it can go away one day and it'll come in the other door the other day, so they have this trust that it is not a finite thing, that money is an infinite resource. So train yourself, and train, if you're a parent, train your child that way, and they will be far ahead of the game, all right, as they go forward in life. So the second piece of advice is to keep your eye on high levels of ethics and personal integrity. The eight it's a testing number in numerology. It's going to test you. It's like boot camp: step up, get stepped on, step up or get stepped on, or, you could do both simultaneously. But truly, it's a very, it just is meant to keep you honest, keep you diligent, keep you organized. You're meant to be that manager, and all of that. And yet it has to come with high, impeccable levels of ethics and personal integrity. Otherwise, it'll come back to haunt you, I think, in an even more accelerated form. It's like, it's like karma, any kind of karma. As you reap, you shall sow. And the eight's magnification around that is pretty intense. All right, the third piece of advice is to have an awareness that you have a dominating or controlling presence, especially women who have eights in their chart. It's not that you have more controlling or dominating presence than men, but it's, of course, taken differently. We could talk about gender dynamics if we would like to. And yet, a lot of women who have eights in their charts, whom I work with, we really get into discussions about how they always, or most often, will find themselves in power plays and with often other women in their within their work environment, that sort of thing. So it's an interesting thing to know and to observe about yourself so that you can develop and refine your sense of power and empowerment, and yet soften it in order for you to get what you want, and in order for it to be palatable and digestible to other people, so that they will not feel threatened by you or intimidated by you. All right. So if I were an eight or had an eight child, I believe these would be the three pieces of advice that I wish I would have had early in life.